Hello, Robert. How you doing? All right, let's go ahead and take a look, shall we? Let's start with your writing. Okay, I read through this, and I think that it's important that you're using your research and you're using some of the rationale that you've developed through the last couple of weeks, encoding meaning, extracting data, and assigning meaning to your client based on your word list, and then moving forward with that through to the word mark stage from your logo development. I think it's smart. It shows that you're thinking about the research that you've performed, specifically the word lists, and creating the visual attributes based on the word list, which draws an immediate connection between your visual representation and the meaning that you've developed based on the research you've done for your client. So that's fantastic. That's what it's all about. It really is when it comes down to it. That's what it's all about, Brandon. So I was quite pleased to read your rationale here. Let's go ahead and jump over to the work itself. Now, a couple of things that I want to mention about this word mark and logo design in general is that typically you don't design a background with a logo. Logos, in this particular case, this word mark is going to be used in many, many different assorted situations. And quite often, the logo is just placed on a background without a square or some kind of patterned background. So I recommend not including a background as part of the logo. The logo itself, I think that you've got some good encoded meaning in here with the circuits. I really do. And I think that that kind of falls through from my comments in the sketch stage, where I thought that was a really super interesting approach. I think, as a designer, I think what you've done is you've taken those comments and you've kind of gone a little too far with them. I think at this point they're no longer as simple as they were from what I remember in the sketch. And if we know anything about logo design, we know that simplicity is your friend as a designer. Simplicity works. Okay, I got a couple of concerns about this. Number one, the letters are all different sizes. There's no uniformity in the letters whatsoever. Therefore, that kind of irregularity, it kind of depletes the work from a visual solid connection, visual harmony. And it kind of creates these kind of random size relationships, which result in a word mark that's extremely, extremely difficult to read. I'm going to zoom out here. You'll see what I mean from a distance. I mean, it's almost impossible to read. You almost have, I did, when I opened this, I had to go through each letter and sound it out. So I did not see Guardian. And I've been working, I mean, Guardian is one of the clients we're working with, right? So for me to say that it wasn't immediately recognizable, I think indicates a deeper problem in that there's just too much going on here. My recommendation is to really, really simplify this exponentially. I mean, I would say just really try to get a uniform typeface, typeset the word Guardian, and then think about how you can add these circuits, but be as simplistic as you possibly can. I think right now it's just overkill. There's just too many of these circuits. The network security, I don't think this is an effective typeface for network security, because right now it's really a super retro typeface. It's not fresh. It's not cutting edge at all. And that's something we would want to see. That's something we would expect from a network security company, is cutting edge technology, right? So I don't think that this kind of old school vintage retro typeface depicts this kind of cutting edge technology that one would expect to see from a network security company. Okay, so my recommendation would be a sans serif on that. Okay, so those are my questions and comments. Basically, in essence, I would say just really, really simplify this, and then remember what you want to say. Everything on a page is saying something about your client. So really think about what you want to say with your client in your network security type. And then first and foremost, this has got to be legible. I mean, at one glance, you should recognize the word Guardian. You should definitely not have to go through and sound out the letters. Okay, other than that, I think as far as the meaning goes, you got it, man. You understand what you're doing completely. And I've got full confidence in that. I just think the translation to the execution stage could be a little bit more efficient, a little bit more expeditious, as it were. All right? Okay, great job. Hey, if you have any questions, well, please let me know. I'll be glad to clarify. Thank you very much.